Hello YouTube, in this video I'm going to be making a cool little alien creature from the movie Explorers. It's a brilliant movie from 1985 with River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke. Similar movies include Flight of the Navigator, The Last Starfighter, Batteries Not Included, E.T. and Mac and Me. So if you like any of those movies, you'll probably like this one. I normally start with a block of wood and I make a couple of holes in it, feed some aluminium wire into the holes and then make my aluminium wire armature. But I was so keen to get on with it that I did the armature like this, just loose. And you can do this. This is just 2mm aluminium wire and it just bends around itself really easily. You just twist it. So I just did a circle for his belly, a little extra one there for his sort of chest area, one for his head, and then you've got these kind of jointed sort of antennae type things. You can like squeeze these together as well if you need to later on. And then the arms, again, just trying to get the dimensions for the upper part of the arms and then the lower part of the arms. And then the legs I've done with a couple of extra wires just to make them a bit thicker so they're a bit stronger. This is the sort of aluminium wire that I get. It's like 2mm and it's just really easy to bend. I would avoid getting steel wire because it's just so much tougher and it takes a lot more bending. Obviously a pair of wire cutters is essential for this kind of thing. Okay, if you end up making your armature first, like I did, then all you've got to do is get yourself a block of wood and make some holes in it. So I use this little thing called a drill vise, which I'll show you in a second. And you can see here I've made 4 holes and I make them at a slight angle into the wood. And then what I do is I just feed in the aluminium wire and I dip the aluminium wire in a bit of super glue first. So this is the little drill vise. You can see it's basically just like a little hand drill. But obviously if you've got a proper drill, you could use that as well to make it easier. I mean, obviously you could just drill the 2 holes and that would probably be strong enough, but I just do 4 so that I've got 4 wires attaching this on to make it even stronger still. All I have to do is twist those wires up around the leg and then maybe up a little bit around the body as well, just to fix it in place. And you end up with this. Here he is, my little wire armature on the little wooden block ready to go. Because this is only a little alien creature, it doesn't need a very big base. Obviously if you're making a bigger creature, you might need to have a really big base for it so that your creature doesn't keep toppling over all the time. Okay, this is just aluminium foil squashed over our armature, and you can see I basically tried to make kind of 3 blobs here, one for his head, one for his sort of chest area, and one for his tummy. And that gives a kind of very basic overall shape. You can see here, I haven't quite finished the back yet, but you can see how he's coming on. It's such a fast process to get to this stage. It's really, really quick, and it just means that you look at it and you think, oh yeah, that's the main kind of shape that my creature is going to be. And then you can begin working on it with this stuff. This is Milliput. If you haven't used Milliput before, it's a 2-part putty, and you mix the 2 parts together in equal amounts, and then it sets rock hard at room temperature in about 4 hours. I'm using silver grey Milliput today because I really love how it kind of shows up all the details. Here's a QR code if you want to get yourself some. So initially, after I've mixed the Milliput, it's all nice and soft, and all I'm doing is kind of pressing it between my thumb and my fingers just to turn it into a thin sheet of Milliput. And then I'm just putting that over the top of all of the aluminium foil. This just kind of gives him a skin, and it looks really rough to start with, but you don't worry about that. You build up all the detail later on. This is the thing with sculpting, is it goes through quite a lot of stages where it looks a bit rubbish before it starts looking good, but you just have to kind of go with that. So this layer of milliput that I've put on is probably only like 2 or 3mm thick, but it's enough to kind of give him a skin. You can see I've done the same here with his head and his kind of 2 antennae type things, and again it's just very rough, but you're starting to see the overall shape. Right, so I quite often used to start by sculpting the head with most of my creatures, but now I quite often end up saving the head until last and try and get the rest done. So you can see here I spent a bit of time sculpting his tummy, and he's got these really cool kind of folds at the sides here, look, just above his, where his hips are. and then I've done the top parts of his legs, and again they're nice and wide, so I've bulked those out quite a bit with kind of lumps of milliput all kind of smoothed in. And you can smooth it more and more as you go along. You can again put it on fairly roughly to start with and then start smoothing it afterwards. Okay, this is after I've built up his face, and you can see like the nose was a blob of milliput, each cheek was a blob of milliput, and then his lips, you know, one blob at the top, one blob at the bottom, and then you just go in with sculpting tools and start shaping it. You can see I've added these kind of rolls onto the antennae areas. I've put this kind of bit around his neck, and then he's got this kind of big collar thing on as well. Again, that was just made with like a sheet of milliput where I just rounded off the edge a little bit. And it's a little bit rough still at the moment. Look, can you see it's got like little kind of cracks in the front? That doesn't matter at all because I'll refine that later as well. Tops of his arms, got a couple of like folds in them. That's just by pushing like a sculpting tool in just to get those lines. Really straightforward sculpting. The fingers are a little bit trickier. Quite often if I'm doing hands and they've got very thin fingers, I'll do like really thin wires first, make like a little frame for each hand, and then put the milliput over the top of the aluminium wire frame. But with these, because they're, first of all, they're kind of stuck together, the two hands, but also because his fingers are quite chubby, I just basically put like a sort of a pad on first, like a sort of a mitten kind of shape, and then I cut like each kind of thumb and finger just by slicing like between the fingers, and then I just rounded them off, and again just used a couple of sculpting tools just to kind of smooth them in a little bit and join them onto each other, and they're looking really cool. You can see here around the back he's still looking pretty rough, but round the front he's looking okay. So I'm concentrating on the front of him first, and then I'll go back and do the back of him separately. Okay, he's looking a little bit more refined now. I've done more of those kind of folds up into the antennae kind of areas. I've also put his eyes on. With the eyes, by the way, I took a little ball of milliput that was already hard. It was like standard milliput, so it's a different colour. And then I sliced that little ball in half, and that made like the two eyes, you know, each half made a separate eye. You can glue the eyes in place just using a little bit of super glue, and then you're just concentrating on getting the eyelids sculpted on with the milliput again. I love getting to this stage in a sculpt where he's pretty much done, but there's still just the kind of fiddly detail bits to do. So you can see here I sculpted his toes, and I just did those kind of like ridges. So he's got like little toe kind of pads, a bit like a tree frog or something. And then you can see I've done his little knees as well with the little wrinkles on. Clothing wise, he hasn't really got very much. He's got this kind of leather sort of loincloth type thing. He's got the straps that go underneath his arms, and then he's got his two little kind of bracelet type things as well. Obviously there's this big thing around his neck that I'd made already, but I've refined that a bit more. You can see around the back here, look, I haven't even joined this loincloth together yet, but that doesn't matter, I'll do that separately. Okay, talking of doing things separately, if you've got little fiddly bits, you can always make them and let them dry. So I've done that here. I've got a couple of these little hands and a couple of ears. Now, on his antennae, on his head, they're actually like little mini arms. And I've made these little tiny hands that are going to go on the ends. It's a really cool little feature. So this one's going to go here, and you can see it's a little pointing hand. He's got his finger out. That's looking really cool. And then I've done this other one, which is more like a little open hand that goes on the other side. So these are drying. I'll wait until they're completely dry, and then I'll drill a little hole in the hand, and I'll drill a little hole in the antennae, and I'll feed a wire through and super glue that on. It just makes it really strong. I'll do the same with the ears. You can see they're going to go about here, and I'll wait until they're dry, drill a hole in the ears, drill a hole in his head, or two holes in his head, attach the ears on, and again The super glue and the wire just makes them really strong. It means if they ever get knocked in the future, they're not going to snap off. Right, I'll show you, this is him basically done now, apart from painting. There are a few little tiny fiddly things, but you can see how these antennae have worked out. Look, I've made them look more like little arms, and then with the little hands attached, it looks really cool. And his ears are now on as well, and they're looking pretty great as well. So I'm really pleased with how he's looking overall, and I can't wait to paint him. I always love getting to this stage where it's just ready for the paint. You can see I've added little bits here on the back of his head. I've continued all of those kind of knobbly bits all the way up his sort of eye stalks, and that's all looking great. Toes on the back of his feet there as well. So yeah, like I say, he's basically ready to go. The fiddly bits I'm going to add right at the end are things that kind of hang from his kind of waistband, and I'll make those separately. It'll just be much easier to paint them if I add them on right at the end. You'll see anyway. Right, first stage of painting, I decided just to paint him all with this very kind of bluey green colour. So this is emerald green. I'm using System 3 acrylic paints to do all of the painting stages on this guy. By the way, this guy, keep calling him this guy or alien, he's actually called WAK. Okay, there are two kind of main aliens from Explorers. One's called WAK, that's this one. There's another one called Neek, and I might make Neek separately on a different video at some stage. She's a female alien and she's on my to-do list, but I thought I'd do WAK first. By the way, I watered down the System 3 acrylic paint just a little bit, just to make it a little bit more runny. That makes it get into all of the deepest areas. So if it was looking a little bit patchy back then, that's why. It doesn't matter that it's patchy, because then I'm going to dry brush over the top of it with other colours. So you can see here I've dry brushed with a yellowy green. That was literally just a case of adding some cadmium yellow, or maybe some lemon yellow as well, in with my original green colour. And I've ended up with this really kind of vivid bright green, and then that is just dry brushed over the top. If you haven't done the dry brushing before, you just put some on your paintbrush, preferably use an old rubbish paintbrush that's all frayed, and then you just dab that on a bit of kitchen paper till it's basically dry, and then you just dust it over all of the top surfaces. You can see all of the deep areas still remain dark green. The really bright green just goes on all of the kind of highest points. I obviously avoided all of the clothes areas until this point. At this point I'd painted them all brown, and I just literally used cadmium red and a bit of the emerald green mixed together to get the brown, and it's pretty dark brown actually, and I just put it over everything that is clothing, and I also painted the base as well. It's very flat at the moment, but again, this is like my kind of base color. So this is the darkest brown, and then I will dry brush some lighter browns over the top to bring out all of the details. The dry brushing paint stages are really satisfying. Even obviously painting this kind of flat brown color on makes a huge difference, because it shows up where all the clothes bits are going to be. But when you do the dry brushing, all of those little kind of fiddly details that you spent a while sculpting suddenly show up more. So this is after dry brushing a lighter brown onto all of his clothes. I also painted his eyes. I think that makes a big difference, because suddenly they pop out. I've added a little kind of bracelet thing on this little mini arm on his head as well. That's like a nice little touch. It ties in nicely with all the rest of it. Okay, I don't know if you can see this very clearly on my video or not, but I've used a much lighter brown and I've dry brushed it onto my base and onto the clothes. If I hold it up here, you might be able to see it a bit more clearly. It just makes all of the clothing kind of pop a little bit. Now, I probably could have left him like this, because he looks pretty finished. All of the painting's kind of done. And yeah, he doesn't look unfinished, put it that way. But those little fiddly details that I told you about that I wanted to add on, like the little tools and things that hang from his waistband, I think those are going to be really nice little finishing touches. and also I wanted to paint a layer of PVA glue over the top. I'm using wood flooring PVA glue because it's really tough, really strong PVA. And what it does is it protects all of the paint. So if you imagine if I scraped my character against a wall or something, that acrylic paint would come off really quite easily. Whereas now he's got a really tough coating on him, and it also gives him a bit of a shine. Can you see the little tools and things that I've added? Some of them are literally just wires hanging on there just to give the effect of a tool, and some of them I have actually made little tiny tools. So I will hold this closer to the camera or move my camera in here so you can see them more clearly. So let's see what I've done. I've done these little kind of circle things here, like where the strap meets his kind of loincloth thing. I've done these little tools that are just hanging on here. Each one I've kind of super glued in place, and then I've gone over with the PVA glue as well. That all just adds extra layers to kind of keep it all stuck on. I've done this extra thin little belt, and all of the things I wanted to look metal, I've just dry brushed silver over the top of the brown, and that works really well. It does look like they're actually made of kind of rusted metal, so I was really pleased with those. If you've been noticing the small moon in the background on some of the shots on this, that's something else that I did in a separate video, so check that out if you get a chance. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make Neek to go with WAK. Check out my other movie creature videos that I've made. There's a lot now. I think there's about 140, 150 different ones. A massive thank you to MILLIPUT for sponsoring this channel. If you haven't tried any before, go out and get yourself some. It's obviously the best modelling material in the world. Hit subscribe if you want to see anything that I post up in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.